Hi, this is J.D. Sanders with you again, publisher of VYPE High School Media for the Dallas-Fort Worth market. I'm here with David McNabb. This is an opinion piece that we're just going to kind of talk about regarding the Massachusetts high school team that recently canceled their football season because of a racial epithet that was scrawled on a player's, one of the athletes' homes, I believe. And so we talked about this a little bit last week before we did VYPE TV segment. I was going to write something, but didn't get it done. So we just decided we're going to talk about it a little bit. David, I'll start off. I think, and what I mentioned that day is that was absolutely an incredibly wrong decision. They missed a teaching moment for those kids, and it really proved that a person or a group of people has control of either what that district or that team is going to do.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, certainly they're trying to make a statement that they're not, that isn't acceptable. But the reason sports are in schools is because they're teaching opportunities.
That's right.
And it's easier for kids to see improvement in sports at an earlier age than it is to actually see improvement sometimes in academics. So I think their heart may have been in the right place, but the idea of, well, we're just going to cancel the season. I mean, that's not what you're going to be able to do in any other walk of life. I mean, why didn't they close the school? And why do you pick out them? So I'm sure it's tough. I don't know the background or the context of it, but even if it was, well, if one more person does this, I don't think they should have. And that's in a sense daring somebody at that point.
Sure.
So I think it's really hard, but I do agree that it's a bad decision to just go, well, that's not right. I don't like that. We're just ending the season.
To your point, I haven't done that much research on it. I've seen a lot on the news. It's been on some of the talk shows as well from some of the talking heads. But you have to think about the effect it has on the cheerleaders, the band members, the gate receipts, all of those different things. And it is a huge effect because, here is something that is canceled. And so you wonder, was it just a quick reactionary decision to say we're going to nip this in the bud right now and now the conversation is over? But it sparks a much larger conversation. I don't think that would ever happen in Texas. I think Texas coaches are going to say, you know what you do? You rally around your teammate, you rally around that player. Maybe you even leave that up as kind of a badge of honor, meaning the racial epithet, wherever it was. And you talk about that. And you define some certain protocols of what you do when this comes up. You rally around that player and you go win some ball games.
Yeah.
Do you think that would ever happen in Texas?
Well, it's different school districts, and I don't think it would. But one of the impressive things that I think you see in a lot of education, and again we've talked about the emphasis and the importance of extracurricular activities. In North Texas, it's not uncommon to go to a coach's clinic and hear, whole 3-hour seminars, plans, just like you would any kind of play or offensive philosophy. It's, do you train for adversity? When everything's going wrong, how are you going to react? Hal Wasson at South Lake Carroll was a big speaker on that. And that they're talking to kids. I don't know about you. Nobody talked to me about training for adversity when I was in high school. No. We had good coaches, and they were pretty good. But it was more, don't do this and don't do that. And now they're taking it to the point. It's not only being a good leader is to not, take part in something. It's to be proactive into saying, hey, no, this isn't cool. You can't bully. You can't do that. And we're gonna, even though I don't really even know that person, I'm gonna side with them. So I agree with you that there could have been a lot of teaching. The old saying is, they're not problems, they're opportunities. And then you go, well, I got a lot of opportunities. So, it's hard. But, now that you've, canceled the whole football season, it's kind of like, well, all we have to do is to shut them down is to just do this one thing.
Right. Well, it certainly gave whoever perpetrated that event certainly gave them a lot of power,
Right.
a lot of satisfaction, more than likely. I think all of us have empathy for situations like that, and certainly the athlete that was affected and the team. But by the same token, I think it probably speaks to what most people feel is where political correctness has gone crazy. It's gone over the top. I mean, we have to really watch everything. And certainly society has grown. We need to be cognizant of that. I heard one local radio talk show host, not on the sports channel, but on another news talk channel, stating that this is because the Northeast. It's in the Northeast. They have a different sensibility. You know, it's they're more reactionary of things like that, and look to punish rather than learn. I don't know if I totally agree with that, but I know that I have to just end on. I think it was a huge opportunity to really help those kids, the team, the community, the school, everyone grow, do some healing, and talk about how to respond the proper way in this type of scenario, because this is something that could be they could remember for the rest of their lives, and what they're going to remember is they quit, and that's absolutely the opposite of what sports teaches.
Right.
I mean, it's absolutely opposite. Now let's go out there and win. Let's show them they're not going to get us down. It's back to your Hal Watson story about teaching adversity. Are you the water or the bean?
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't matter. You know, they have a lot of discussions at South Lake Carroll, whether it's hot water or cold water. You know, the water changes temperatures, but the bean changes the color of the water no matter what. So that's a very visual type of example that they can give the kids when it's freezing cold outside. They fumbled it, one of their guys got hurt, the other team's cheating, they're holding, they're doing that, and it's the reason you're playing but you're there to win the next play.
Right.
And that's the focus that I think, and I don't think there's, whether it's football, I would hope that that in Texas, if it was a softball game in that team, we wouldn't go, oh, well, it's just softball. And I think other people in the country might go, oh, it's just because it's football. But I don't think that would be the case in Texas.
Right. Probably not. I would probably agree. Well, we're going to wrap it up there. That's the VYPE Opinion from J.D. Sanders, the publisher, and our in-house guru, Dave McNabb. I think you've been with us 5 years now, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been about that.
Time to get your new VYPE shirt.
Oh, I know. That's right.
If you have an opinion about this or anything, please email us at dfwinfo@vype.com. That's VYPE. Send that to us. We may post something. You can certainly tweet us as well at VYPEDFW. And check out our website, vype.com. You can see all of our other locations throughout the U.S. that we're growing. And for this market, check out vype.com/Dallas.